I will never get Supersonic Legend in Rocket League, and I'm okay with that. But being okay with it has not been easy. In fact, my life has become objectively worse since starting the challenge, and for a while, I wasn't sure if I could recover from it. But I said I would go until June 18th, the due date for my first child. But I haven't played Rocket League since February 21st, about 3 months. I suck at Rocket League. That's how I actually feel, but before this turns into a super negative video complaining about everything, I want to instead start with what it has helped me realize about myself and about life, because although I failed, I still feel I found success. This is going to be a pretty slow-paced video where we just talk a little. If that's not your thing, I'm sorry. And to be honest guys, I wasn't planning on having a sponsor for this video, but when Thrustmaster reached out, I realized it would actually be the only sponsor that would fit. They have been with me since day one of the challenge. I can't imagine how many controllers I would have gone through after 2,000 hours of gameplay, and I also travel a lot with my wife for her golf tournaments, and being able to take out the joysticks when I pack it gave me a ton of ease of mind that they wouldn't break. You can find those sticks on the website and combine them with the other amazing features the controllers have, like tack switch buttons that feel great and responsive. Those sticks, by the way, are made with Hall Effect technology, which has been the biggest game changer for eSwap. With the amount of time I put into Rocket League over the last year, it's been nice knowing that whenever I made a mistake, I knew for a fact it was not because of my controller. There is simply no way I would have been able to do this challenge without the eSwap controller, so I encourage you to join the eSwap X2 family. I have my own code, so if you want to support the channel, make sure to use code CBell at checkout or click the link in the description. If you're from the US, you'll get 10% off any of the gamepads, and this deal will only last until June 30th. Make sure to snag some Hall Effect sticks as well. They are also on sale. Thanks to Thrustmaster and eSwap Controllers for sponsoring the video. But the first thing I have realized about this challenge is quitting is okay. I'm not talking about quitting because something is too hard or might take too much time or you're lazy. Quitting is okay when you have realized that the goal you're working towards is not what you want anymore. I don't want Supersonic Legend. At first I did, but at some point during the challenge, that changed. And to continue to push towards Supersonic Legend was not something I wanted, but I felt it was something I needed to do for all of you guys. I didn't want to quit, I didn't want to fail, I didn't want to accept that the time I spent getting better was all for nothing. But I didn't push forward because I wanted Supersonic Legend. It honestly could have been any goal at that point. I was stuck feeling like I had to do it because I said I would. So over time, the drive to get Supersonic Legend disappeared. I didn't even want to play Rocket League, let alone reach the highest rank in the game. And that is because of the second thing I learned. The sacrifices required for a goal can't outweigh the goal itself. Reaching Supersonic Legend is a worthy goal, but you have to make sacrifices to achieve it. For some, those sacrifices are worth it. To me, the things I was sacrificing are my real goals in life. To reach Supersonic Legend, I sacrificed time, relationships, health, balance, happiness, and financial freedom. Let's quickly talk about the time aspect. I averaged 5 hours of Rocket League per day. I know it's roughly 5 hours because I went from 12,000 in-game hours to 14,000 in just under 1 year of the start of the challenge. But I didn't play Rocket League every day, so you can imagine some of those days being more like 8 to 10 hour shifts. Relationships, well, because of all the time I spent playing the game, I spent way less time with my wife, my family, and my friends. It affected my health. There's no denying that sitting at your computer playing Rocket League all day is not healthy. I stopped working out, going for as many walks, and probably took a few days off my lifespan. Balance. I strive for balance in life. I love being well-rounded in all areas. Rocket League stole that from me, something I anticipated to some extent, but it affected me more than I thought it would. Happiness. I'm a very happy person, almost always. Rocket League was starting to change that. Maybe I'm overly sensitive, but losing MMR or running into a string of toxic teammates or opponents began to agitate me, which was never the case before. I can remember times where I'd log off for the night, but the anger I accumulated during my Rocket League session lingered. And financial freedom. This is a big one that I didn't see coming at all, but it makes total sense now looking back. It's no secret that Rocket League has been slowly dying in terms of engagement on YouTube. Even Sunless, the GOAT of content, struggles to see videos reach numbers that they used to. With a series like Reaching Supersonic Legend, the views were lower, but also the rate of upload was lower because because I'd be spending so much time trying to improve, I didn't have time for anything else. And if I did not improve, I could not really upload a new video. My success on YouTube was dependent on my performance in game. So my income split in half for 2024, a literal 50% drop off from the previous year, and with a baby on the way, this was scary. The final thing I learned, and was ultimately the reason why I quit the challenge, was I need creativity in my life. Rocket League has been out for 10 years. Part of why I love the game is how simplistic it is, yet how complicated it is to master. It's also just a great game. But if we were talking about YouTube and creating unique content, its prime years are far in the past. I've bitched about this a little on Twitter, but it has felt for a while now that Rocket League has no soul left. Maybe it started with Epic purchasing the game and free-to-play was released. Maybe it was the removal of trading or the retirement of Sunless. Maybe it's the lack of updates and no creative mode. Maybe it's everything. But I love to be creative and express that through YouTube videos. This Supersonic Legend journey thing is very one-dimensional. In the beginning, it's hype, but the middle is predictable and boring. For me and the viewer. Hey guys, I just played Rocket League for 1 month and here's my progress. Oh, by the way, I went down 40 MMR in 1 month. See you next time. This is pretty draining. I dreaded the whole process towards the end and felt the reward was not even going to be worth it. Rocket League content is also in a funny place. I don't know how many of you are actively watching Rocket League videos, but if you pay attention, you would notice that the best performing videos are the ones that feature rank versus rank type content. My channel features a lot of these videos if you look back at it, but the point I want to make is that in the last few years, trying to deviate from those types of videos rarely pays off. Like coming up with a unique idea or story, spending extra time editing or scripting a never before seen idea gets 50% of the views when compared to worst diamond versus best diamond or whatever. It's our job as YouTubers to provide content that our viewers want to see, and if you look at what performs well, you'd be wise to discontinue any other side projects. After a while, however, creating videos about X rank versus X rank is pretty mind-numbing. I'd say just the creator feels this way, but plenty of comments convince me that those videos are also boring for the viewers. So what do? Viewers want fresh content, but those videos don't perform as well, indicating the viewers don't want fresh content. Well, at some point I decided to not care about the views and instead just do what I wanted to do. So I came up with this challenge to get Supersonic Legend. I guess the first few videos did alright, but as I already said, at some point that also gets boring because it's the same content until I reach my goal. And for all the other reasons I already listed, it was a no-brainer to quit the challenge. But the problem still persists. What Rocket League videos should I make? Soulless, mind-numbing, repetitive rank versus rank content, or something creative, new, and fresh? Well, I found the solution. For a while, I thought I was burnt out, but I realized that it wasn't burnout, I was burning the wrong fire. I was tending a fire that I did not want to tend. I added logs to a flame that was never strong enough to burn those logs. But to the right was the largest, driest, and perfectly stacked monster of a bonfire just waiting to be ignited. So, what is that bonfire? What have I been doing since February 21st, the day I stopped playing Rocket League? Honestly, it was a relief to make the decision to stop the series, and I have been restoring what I lost during the series. I have way more time to spend with my pregnant wife and myself. I've been going to the gym a lot more, been taking a lot more walks, and I've actually seen a lot of health benefits from that. My life feels balanced again. With my batteries recharged, I've spent most of my time working on a second channel here on YouTube. It's been going well, and I have plans to place my main focus on that going forward. If you're still with me in this video, that means you are probably more supportive than the average viewer of mine, and I think you'll like my second channel, so I'll have it linked in the description if you want to see what that is all about. As for Rocket League, the CBell channel will still be operable, but videos will not be released as frequently as they have been in the past. I'll probably do some fan favorites, and if I ever feel overly inspired about something in Rocket League, I'll make one for that. Low-key, I'm just hoping that Rocket League 2 comes out or some sort of creative mode gets released so I can come back and explore that with all of you. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who has followed me throughout these years and for everyone who made it this far in the video. You few are the ones who make YouTube the most fulfilling job in the world, and I will never take you for granted. This is not a goodbye. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on my family and daughter for a while, and I couldn't be happier. Take care, and remember, life is not about one thing. You have to be balanced, and when you have that balance, you'll know what you truly want. And when you know what you truly want, follow that with no shame or hesitation.